Stenhouse from Mississippi with Brian Patty knocked out his Roush Fenway teammate from the top 12, Trevor Bayne, with his run. Then Casey Kane went on the track with Keith Rodden and Hendrick Motorsports and knocked out Jimmy Johnson, his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, who had been 12th. So Stenhouse is now on the bubble in 12th as far as advancing to round 2. And the rookie, the Xfinity Series champion, who is fluent in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. That's Daniel Suarez from Monterrey, Mexico for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Imagine if we had back-to-back rookies on the pole at the Daytona 500.
What a story that would be. 14 years since we've had a repeat pole sitter. And Suarez is not going to make the top dozen. He is 14th with a 46.905. Vince?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in the booth during the broadcast of the Clash, and for a broadcaster, you hold a pretty nice wheel. Second quickest in this first round. How was it?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I didn't think it was going to run that good. So I thought, there's some fast forwards that are still to go. But that's a pretty good lap for us. So, I think it might get us in the top 12 so we can go another round. And I had a lot of fun today up in the booth. I hope the fans enjoyed that. I thought the race was great. And glad to be in the car. And we'll see how we end up here.
Glad to have you back.
Well, he's definitely in the top dozen as here's Ryan Blaney for the Wood brothers. Jeremy Bones, the crew chief. It'll be Blaney's third Daytona 500. And this is one of those fast forwards that Junior was just talking about.
Yeah, we got a group of them coming up. We got Kyle Larson in a fast Chevy, and then we got the 3 Fords at the end here.
But Blaney is 15th at a 46.93, and that misses the cut by at least half a tenth.
Yeah, the last 2 cars, Suarez and Blaney both have slowed down about 3/10 over what they practiced at yesterday. I don't know if the winds picked up.
Well,
conditions have changed a little bit.
It's interesting you say that. I've noticed the flags change a little bit of direction, and then we're getting gusts here and there, which tends to happen here in Daytona in the afternoon. So could be having an effect on some of these teams.
I'm just surprised those 2 cars, they slowed down about the same amount, about 3/10, both of them. The last 2 cars are gone.
So there are 4 cars to go, which means everyone in the top 8 down through Ryan Newman is locked into round 2. And those in question would be Kane, Harvick, Dillon, and Stenhouse. Here's Kyle Larson from California for Chad Johnston and Chip Ganassi Racing.
Fast car yesterday, 46.62 he ran. He was the 4th quickest car yesterday.
This will be his 4th Daytona 500.
Those lap times I'm giving you are the lap times that was their fastest first lap that they ran yesterday. So those are times that when they went on the track, the first lap, time
look
by.
at this thing sparking through 1 and 2. They really got that thing dragging.
Yeah, that might be a little too much.
And you look at him dropping on the ticker.
I say this all the time. I say it again. When that car hits it, when it sparks like that, there's something pretty major dragging, and that's just like slamming the brakes on. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, there's a fine line because you want to get that spoiler and the drag off the car by getting it down as much as possible. But if you're then hitting the racetrack too hard, there you're causing friction, and that's slowing the car down.
Yeah, because those are huge sparks, so those big parts are dragging somewhere.
Yeah. Kyle Larson will not make it to round 2. He is 15th at a 46.92, and that will lock in Casey Kane into the second round.
Another 3/10. The last 3 cars that have gone have all dropped off 3/10. And we're coming to the last couple of 3 cars here. We'll see what they can do. We know how fast they were yesterday.
Brad Keselowski from Michigan, past series champion with a win at Daytona in July, has 4 Daytona top 10s, but only 1 in the last 5 spring races.
Wow, he's kind of dropping on our track a little bit.
Think about this too, guys. These cars have been out on the line the longest of any of the cars. So every part on that car, other than what they were able to heat up a little bit with their generators, but these cars don't have any heating whatsoever.
And I'm really curious to see what happens in this next round of those cars that have gone, how much they pick up because they have the temperature that's in the oils and in the bearings and all those things.
Yeah, I think they will pick up. For sure.
Wow, Keselowski jumps right back up the chart. He's going to move on to round 2. Third for Brad Keselowski, 46.82. So the fast 5 right now, 2 Chevys, Keselowski's Ford, and 2 Toyotas.
Well, we got a battle on our hands. Hendrick Motorsports and their Chevrolets against the JGR and Furniture Row Toyotas, and now look at the Penske Fords coming into the mix.
That's 2/10 slower than he ran yesterday with Keselowski. So I think the wind's picked up and slowed him down a little bit.
So that bumps Ricky Stenhouse out of the top dozen. It moves Ty Dillon onto the bubble with 2 cars to go. Harvick and Dillon at risk. Eric Almirola driving for Richard Petty Motorsports and crew chief Drew Blickensderfer. Winner here in July of 2014. This will be his 7th 500. That's the King's number 43 that's rolled into victory lane here 7 times.
Yeah, that always blows my mind. It's a hard race to win, man. Only won it one time. Richard Petty won it 7 times.
Almirola 24th. That's got to be a disappointment. 47-12. And that will lock in Kevin Harvick.
46.72 yesterday. That's a huge drop off.
We saw heard some drivers talk about launching off pit road here.
Yeah.
Logano. I mean, it looked like that was planned to him. Usually you want to not spin the tires, but boy, he lit them up leaving pit
Boy,
road.
get some heat in those tires. Like a burnout.
Logano fresh from victory lane in the clash earlier today with crew chief Todd Gordon for Team Penske, the 2015 Daytona 500 winner.
This is a confident driver right here, guys. I think he and Todd Gordon, I think they can do anything. I think they can win every race.
So Ty Dillon trying to hold on to the final transfer spot into the dozen that will run for the pole.
Boy, look at this. The 22 is definitely off the pace more than I anticipated. Doesn't look like he's going to transfer through to round 2.
Boy, it doesn't. That's all.
17th, 46.92.
Wow.
For Joey Logano. And Ty Dillon is safe. Chase Elliott, quickest. Dale Earnhardt Jr. second. There's a happy young man, the younger of the Dillon brothers.
I'm glad for him.
Will transfer with crew chief Booty Barker to the final round of 12, and we'll see who wins the pole for the 500.